So, last class we discussed how we are going to create these three tables. Okay, so I showed you how to write the scripts also for this. So, and we discussed what is static data. Okay, what is dynamic data. Okay, so after doing this, I inserted two records also dynamic into the dynamic table. So this is the static table. This one would be what? Dynamic table. You got the difference between static table and dynamic table, no? So the values in the static table will be used for what? Direct display. Directly will be displaying. You will not be giving the option for the user to enter values into this particular table now. Okay. So anyway, you'll understand it when you do a project very clearly. Very clearly you'll understand it. You don't have to worry about it. So last class this is what I did, and after that I inserted some data. What data I inserted? I inserted on employee 101, first name A, last name A, he belongs to the department ID 10 now, some department I took, and we inserted two phone numbers of his. What is that? Employee phone ID is 1, 2, phone number is what? 111, belongs to employee ID 101, 1111 belongs to employee ID 101. So this is what we did in the last class. So one more thing, see just what convention I am following, notice. Whatever scripts I am writing, you know, I have saved it in what? Last class I stored it in 07 static table. I saved it into this particular folder. So here you got the scripts. Which one? DB scripts. You got employee.sql. If you run, all the things will happen. Which one? Creating tables and all that will happen. Now whatever queries I wrote last, which one? Inserting and all that. That also is here only in queries.txt. So you can see inserting the employee, I wrote like this, insert into employee ID, correct? So these are the two queries, or 2-3 queries I wrote. This is for inserting what? An employee and his two phone numbers into the database. So that I put it into which one? Queries.txt. Yeah. So this is the script file, this is the queries, okay, and this will be the which one? HTML file. Okay, means I've kept all the three things in here. Okay, so now we'll come across some more things. Understood the convention now? So .txt, don't try to execute it. Queries.txt, don't try to execute it because it will contain only, it will not run, only .sql file will run. So run the script and then you can try to refer to this queries what I have written. Yeah. So this much we covered in the last class. Now some more things I'll cover up here in the same example. Now see, one key point we are discussing in the last session. Foreign key can have null value. Yes or no? See, primary key and foreign key what? Primary key not null and unique. Foreign key allows null and duplicates. Means these two constraints are not there for that. Okay, for primary key by default implicitly will have what? Two constraints. Which are the two constraints which should be added for primary key? Not null and unique means it will not allow null values and duplicate values. Primary key. These two it will not allow. So I'll cover this concept now. Anyway, foreign key is duplicate, you know that. I have to make you understand foreign key can have null values. I inserted null and showed you in the last session. But it was not logical. See, example I tell you. If you have a phone number here, okay, without an employee ID, it looks illogical. Yes or no? So we'll not take this into consideration. But look here it becomes logical. There is an employee who doesn't belong to any department. Like his employee ID might be 109, something like this. And I'll take Ravi. Any name you want to take. His last name is K. He will not belong to any department. He might be the owner of the company, no? He might be the owner of company, no? Yes or no? So you will not put him into any department. Now it looks logical. So a foreign key can have what? Null value. But if at all you try to insert, it should be a value present in the master table. If at all you are trying to insert here, it should be a value present in the master table. Otherwise, insert null value. It will allow you nulls. So this is a very primitive equation. Foreign key can have what? Null values. Sometimes it becomes logical. But here it is illogical. See this. Now see, okay, now again Ravi can have phone now. So we can have what? Phone. See this 3. I'll have something like 9845. Some number I'll write. 98456, something like this. Understood? And I don't have an employee ID. Valid now? Sorry, I have an employee ID. I can put it like this, 109. Yes? So here you can see it is null. Understood? So foreign key can have what? Null value. That's what I am trying to say. So if you see these two tables, you'll understand foreign key can have null value. Understood? Foreign key can have null value. But directly if I try to insert some other record, see in here having null in foreign key has some meaning. But here having null in foreign key doesn't have any meaning. Like this, more tables when you start seeing, you'll understand all this. But the concept is what? Foreign key will allow null and duplicates. Understood? Very prime interview question. And I'll give more examples to start understanding. More logical it will become. Understood? More and more logical it will start becoming. Foreign key can have null values. So I'll just insert this record and show it to you now. Which one? I'll insert the record of null value into employee table. Okay. See, apart from this, what all we had created? This sequence was there. Yes. This was the employee table. This is the department table. This is the employee table. Yeah, I'll just do it now. So I can open up the Apex, start typing your queries. Sometimes open some new browser if it doesn't work. I'll show you the tables first. These 3 tables we created. Yes, data if you want to see, phone, data, these are the 2 records I inserted yesterday. Is it visible now? Yeah, this was the data of what? Employee, and this is the data of department. Yeah? So now I'll insert what? You tell the query. Insert into. I'll disable auto commit. Okay. Insert into employee directly. Okay. I'll just copy paste the queries now. Okay, I'll type it. Insert into employee. Which columns I want to insert? Employee underscore ID, comma, first name, comma, last name. You don't want to insert anything into department, fine, leave it off. Directly you will tell what? Values. Yeah. So you can say employee underscore employee seek. The sequence what I created is emp underscore seek dot next val comma first name would be any name you want to give. I'm giving it as Ravi. Okay. And last name would be okay, valid. See there, null value gets inserted. Null value gets inserted. So insert into employee ID, first name, last name, values, employee sequence. Okay, now see, it will get executed, one row inserted. So and you can go and check in the data now. In the employee table, you'll have one more record, refresh. So it is there. Okay, I have to commit now. Commit, because still commit has not been issued. Run, okay, commit. Now you can comment, check. His value is null. So here it becomes little logical. Foreign key can be null, little logical. Clear? So like this, it will continue now. Slowly you start understanding. Are you clear with all this now? Okay, so foreign key can have what? Null values. So they are dead opposite. Primary key will not allow nulls and no duplicates. But foreign key will allow null and duplicates. They are dead opposite. And apart from that, you know the process. They help in relating tables. Okay, cascading while inserting, it checks for data integrity. While deleting, it will do what? Cascading. All these advantages are there. Okay, so this was some simple introduction to what? Primary key and foreign key. This is only an introduction. More things we'll start seeing later. Okay, how powerful it becomes when you start doing the projects. Yeah, fine. So then next, see one more thing about running scripts. I want to tell you one more thing. This was the script I worked yesterday. Which script? See, static table. This was the script I worked. So what? How was I executing the script? Slash employee.xql. Copy this. So generally, how I execute script? Windows. I'll go to the DOS prompt. Yes. So in the DOS prompt, I'll go to what? SQL plus. Once you're in SQL plus, you log into the schema where you want to execute your script. Done. And you'll use at the rate of. You'll put double quotes. Yes or no? You have to use double quotes. This is the way I've taught you. Close the double quote and press enter. Perfectly it executes. In fact, notice I'll not use double quotes. Still it will execute properly. Understood? But you should know when to use double quotes actually and why to use. See, I'm writing at the rate of, and I'll paste it and I'll press enter. Still the script is running. I didn't put double quotes. Did you notice, sir? Did I put double quotes here? It is running. So just I'll show you when it becomes mandatory for you to put double quotes. No both, because it is subject to a lot of errors. Sometimes while running scripts you'll get errors. Okay, this is a very simple basic error. See this. I'll go to the same folder. Okay. So in what I'll do, just static table is there now. I'll rename the folder and I'll give a space. Notice there. There's a space provided between static and table. Okay. Just a small modification I've done. Okay, I think I've opened the folder, some file somewhere. Just rename the folder and give what? Space. Okay, so now folder has been renamed. Now try to do it. At the rate of paste. Sorry, and you have to change here. Here the path you copy. What is the path you have to copy? 1 second. See, give the space here. Between what? Because it's a new folder name now. Okay. So means if you try like this, it will not run. Unable to open file, it will tell. Why it's saying unable to open file? See, I'm copying now. I'll copy and do it again. See, this is a path now. What is the path? New path. There's space between what? Static and table. Just see. I'm running it now. At the rate of same query. This time it will not execute. Unable to open file, it says. Which file? See the error. Unable to open file. This particular, it is not able to try something, it's giving the error. So now what happens? You give double quotes. It will run. At the rate of double quotes, paste. Now it will execute. Same query. Understood? So double quote is mandatory when there is space between any folder name in any. See, this is a big path what you are taking. What is the path you are taking here? This is the path, correct? Huh? So see this. Windows R, Notepad. Shall I clear what I have written? So where is the space here? In this big path? Here. Not only there, if there is space anywhere, here also. Eclipse examples. Anywhere space is there now in your folder, it will not work. That's why maximum times what I tell you, do not keep space in your folder names. But unfortunately you keep on doing it. Understood? You will face silly errors like this. Okay. Anyway, it's not that you cannot resolve. All you have to do is what now? Give the value in double quotes. But best practice I'll tell you, don't use space also and use double quotes also. Understood? See, you're following now? What I'm trying to say. If there is space, you have to give double quotes. If there is no space, no need of giving double quotes. Simple as that. Understood? Just copy paste the path. Okay. So, but better is what? Don't use space also and use double quotes also. That is the best. But sometimes you'll get errors. So that is why to debug this one main tool here. Okay, what? Put it in double quotes. If there is space, double quotes is mandatory. Understood? Are you clear with this? So just try it out. So what will I do now? I'll remove the space. So don't give space anywhere else. It will cause a lot of problems which you'll be unable to debug later. Removing the space. Not only in this folder name, any folder name. Eclipse examples or which one? August 2013. That's why I'm using underscore there to bridge the gap between what? Eclipse examples, August 2013. I'm using underscore for what purpose? To bridge the gap between the two folder spaces. Understood? So okay, maintain all the standards. It will be very helpful for you. So I think we are done with this much. Yeah. So then, to this, we'll see one subject called as, I think this much is clear for you now? Okay. So then we'll see one more subject now called as normalization and denormalization. Okay. This is one more word which comes up in databases, normalization and denormalization. So what are these two? In fact, this is a so huge subject, you don't have to worry about all this now. Okay. Already indirectly you know what is normalization. I just highlighted now. Okay. Just have to make you understand, both of that you know now. Just have to make you understand. In fact, 40-50 years of revolution has happened on this subject, and finally we have got the ultimate solution now. Okay, we have got the ultimate solution for what? These two things. I'll tell you what is normalization now. Just understand. Normalization means it's the process of splitting the data and storing it into multiple tables. Normalization is nothing but what? Storing the data into multiple tables. Denormalization is what? Storing the data into single table. Okay. Storing data in, see here storing means, what is normalization means? Creating multiple tables and storing data in multiple tables, which you have already done. Understood? Creating multiple tables and storing data in multiple tables. Next, after this, what is the advantage of normalization now? What is the advantage? If you do normalization, what is the advantage? What is the advantage? If you do this, what is the advantage? I'm just twisting the question. What is the advantage of primary key foreign key? I'm twisting it. Okay, what is the advantage of normalization? It will avoid null values and redundant values. That's all. Okay, so this was the important subject actually. So it avoids what? Advantage of this one normalization is it avoids null values and redundant values, duplicate values. This is the main advantage. So normalization was needed. Okay, see what happened when they started writing applications, no, developers, there was a lot of data which was coming. Initially when the applications were developed, your applications or companies, see you write an application for a company like Citibank or State Bank of India and all that. So when you write an application for this kind of companies or organizations, initially those days very less data was there. Later on what happened today, data is so huge and vast. So what happened, the subject was becoming very important now. Okay, a lot of research happened, for which one? Normalization, and finally they came with the best solution. Okay, so what did they do? Yes, they said you can do normalization, but for doing normalization, two things are vitally needed: primary key and foreign key. So that is why it was introduced. Okay, it's the other way around. Why primary key and foreign key came out was to support normalization now. Understood? In fact, there's a lot of research which happened on this, and there are many levels of normalization. Computer science might be knowing it. First level, second level, so many levels of normalization is there. Do not bother about any level. Nothing is important for you. Hardly you have to understand normalization is only this much concept. Because all normalization are trying to do what? Same support. Understood? Any normalization you take, it is trying to do what? It will avoid you storing null values and redundant values. That's all. Nothing more. So there's so much of research which happened. First level, second level normalization, third level and all that. Don't bother. All of them are doing only the same thing. So do not even bother about that. You might have learned it in your college theoretically and all that. Don't look it back. It means don't see that. Just understand this much. Okay. Now, what is denormalization? And RDBMS support. RDBMS databases support what? RDBMS support databases support normalization. Remember that. All RDBMS databases, they support normalization. That's why while developing applications we use relational database management system databases. Clear? Fine. What is denormalization now? What is denormalization? Storing data in single table. And you are expert in this, sir. You know what is denormalization already. Yes or no? If I give you any requirement, what will you do? You will store the data in a single table. You are expert in this. You don't have to worry about this. Now which one is good? Normalization or denormalization? See, such a big subject. You learned it in what? 6-7 days. I told you accurately I am covering database for you. Yes or no? Yes. Now which one is good? Normalization good or denormalization good? Both are good. Scenarios will decide which one to use when. Both are required. Okay, I'll just give you an example now. See, application developers focus on what? Normalization. Remember. And denormalization is done by one more team will be there called as data warehousing team. There's one subject you know that no data warehousing. I'll explain what is data warehousing now. Understood? See what happens generally when you develop an application, this is what happens. You know you'll have the front end, correct? You'll enter the name, first name, last name, whatever it is the records will enter now into your application. This is your application. See, application can be in any language. Don't think only Java. Application can be in any language. So values will be stored into what? Database. As soon as they enter, you store the values into database. So here you can have what? Multiple tables like this. They might be related. That's a different story. One table, two table, depending on the values what is entering now, you can have any number of tables. So while storing means, see, there are many roles in the company. Okay. See, this project will be got by, yesterday I told you something called as SDLC, Software Development Life Cycle. SDLC means Software Development Life Cycle. Here what happens, there's one person called as Business Analyst. He is in the marketing department. He is the person who is responsible to get the projects for the software company. Okay, they'll do marketing, somehow they'll get it. And once they get the project, what they do is to finally, see, client will be asking for many things. Client means who? I always use the words, remember this. Client means the company which is going to give the order, like Citibank or State Bank of India or something like that. Okay. Company means our software company. Client and company I'll keep telling. Okay. So software company, any software company. So now the client, when the business analyst will get the orders from the client and get it to your company now. So now see, before the project starts off, the client will give a lot of requirement. And in fact everything will be only in a text format. Like he'll tell I want this and all that. I want first page should be something like this. If I click that, next page should be this should happen and all that. He'll give the requirement. So generally what happens, the person who gets the order, business analyst, we call them as business analyst, They actually prepare on UI like this, user interfaces. Using what? HTML they will prepare. HTML is one more language. I'll be teaching you HTML also, you don't have to worry. Okay, so they'll be designing what? All the scripts, screens like this, and they'll show them. See, this is how, if you click this page, it will go to next page. Okay, all that they'll show. So once the customer is comfortable, means the client is comfortable, then what happens? The project will be finalized, and then they will start off developing the project. But before developing the project now, looking at the UI, what will be created now? Tables will be created. Now this will be created by whom now? Database administrators. So it's the role of the DBA to create tables for you. So they are the people who write what? DDL queries. But you should know all the design of the tables, because if you don't know the design of the tables properly, how will you write your query? Yes or no? So people struggle only for this. So that's why I'm accurately showing you how the tables are being created. Practice this. Now writing queries becomes very easy for you. So DDL queries will always be written by administrators only. That .sql file what I keep writing now, it will be written by those people only. Done. So DBA will do this. Then business analyst will get what? The order, and this he'll be actually getting the order. Fine. Now what do we application developers do? We are in any language, that is secondary. I can develop the application in VB, Java and all that. So our duty is to collect values from front end, dump it into back end, or other way around. Retrieve values from back end and display it into the UI. That's all you're going to do. It can be any language. Okay. So that simple our life is going to be. So if you see from the future now, like if you understand all these basics, application development becomes very easy. In between that, see, you're getting values, you're dumping, you're retrieving values and you're displaying. More than that, you'll not do anything. Inside that, you'll write only the domain logic. You always think about logic now. Writing logic is this kind of a logic. Now any logic related to a banking application that you'll write, that's called as domain logic. Okay, now it might be an insurance company, so you'll write that kind of a logic, or retail company. So these are the kind of logic what the application developer will be writing. Okay, so this is how things have been designed. So while we are going to store the data into the database, we think about normalization always, because it will help you like to avoid redundant values, null values and all that. So once this is done, see afterwards what happens, the data in this table, okay, what it will be happening is one more team will be there, backend team. One more team will be there. Okay, they will not manipulate data in this table. What they do, data is very crucial, you can't lose the data, remember that. One more backend team, what they'll do, they will copy this data. They'll copy this data into another database. Okay, in fact, this is only called as data warehousing subject. This is called as data warehousing subject. There's one course called as data warehousing. So these people will be working in the backend. What they do, there's some subject called as means in data warehousing there are three keywords they use. ETL, extraction, transformation, loading. Okay, means what they'll do, they'll retrieve it and here they'll put all the data into a single table. That's all data warehousing, nothing. Understood? So this is not, so we think about normalization. Data warehousing people think about denormalization. That's it. So this will, okay. So ETL means extraction, transformation. L means loading, ETL. In fact, it's called as data mining. They have their own terminology, you don't bother about that now, that is not our duty. Okay, so they'll put it into a single table. Now why they put it into a single table is because to generate statistics, reports and all that, that will be very much advantageous. Okay, so you'll be understanding that also. But this is the thing what goes on happening in the company. In one project now there will be many roles. In one project there will be many roles. Application developers will be there, DBA people will be there. Okay, front-end designers will be there. Understanding? So then data warehousing team will be there. Like that many roles will come. In fact, I'll be covering end-to-end from everything. From UI to application development to database, including testing I'll cover. Including testing. So many roles I'm covering within a short span. 4-5 months almost all you're bang on target now. You'll exactly understand what an application is. Okay. So even the testing people also should know what? Database properly. Only then they can do what? Proper testing. So that crucial databases. So such an important subject, see already you got a comfortable, you have come to a very comfortable in 6-7 days now. Okay, practice it and I'll make it more interesting and comfortable. So anyway, this is the subject. I'm just explaining what is normalization and denormalization. There are many roles. Okay, so you are trying to enter into which role? Application developer role, that's it. In a software company, you are trying to enter into a application developer role. So our duty is very simple. Now to be an application developer, you are learning which language? Java language. Why Java language? Libraries. Only reason is that you got excellent libraries. See this. JDBC is nothing but one library. To do what? CRUD operation. Hibernate is what? Another advanced library. So they are all libraries. People think what? Hibernate on big subject. It is down to earth. Get the basics right, other things you'll start understanding. Okay. So in JDBC library now we'll write 4 lines of code to insert values into database. Example. But here you'll write what? 1 line. More advanced. That's all the difference. So this is how it happens. So we go on writing code like this. This data warehousing team, what they'll do? They'll retrieve the data and they'll do denormalization. See, this is they are doing denormalization. Understood? So this is how it goes on happening. So our duty is not about which and denormalization and all. Just I give you an idea. They'll retrieve all the data and put it into a single table. Now don't think denormalization is done in all projects. Denormalization is done only in some huge big projects like banks, inks and all that. Now there they'll be doing it. So their data warehousing will come. But supposing you are writing a project for one small company where there are around 1,000 employees, 2,000 employees, there why do you need denormalization? So this data warehousing subject comes when there is enormous, huge amount of data. Understood? So that's also on subject now. Are you clear with this? Are you clear with this subject now? So both are equally important. Which one? Normalization and denormalization. Just I highlighted this subject for you. Which one? Normalization and denormalization, because most of you are struggling in database only for this point from this point of view. But it's a very simple subject. Lot of research has happened. As I told you, first level normalization, second level, all are trying to give the same solution. What solution? Avoiding null values and redundant values. Finally, primary key and foreign key are doing it at the best way. That's it. So both we have practiced. Just I am using terminology to close that particular topic. Just terminologies I brought now. Everything we did. Normalization also I showed you. Denormalization also I told you. I didn't use this particular words while explaining it to you. Are you clear with this now? So okay. So SQL is very, very mandatory. You can notice now. Okay. So don't play around. Practice. As I told you, I will be teaching database in a very short span at the best level. Clear this? Any questions? Yeah. So shall I clear everything now? So always learn whatever you learn it from practical point of view, project point of view, real time point of view. Only then you'll understand the subject. Generally when learning database you are bothered only about queries. I'll write one insert query, it executed. I'll write another query, it executed, it will become push. That is not the way you learn. Okay. Actually practically you have to learn everything where it falls under a application. Fine. So now we'll complete of primary key and foreign key. There's one last topic which I have to explain you in primary key and foreign key. So primary key actually is of two types. Simple primary key, composite primary key. Simple already we have studied. In simple primary key what happens? You will have only what? One column as a primary key, only one. And the same column will be used what? As a foreign key in some other table. If this is A table, this will be B table. So this is what you studied till now, and this is what is what? Simple primary key. One second. I'll write it here because that will come to composite. Yeah. One second. This is an example for simple. Just see this. So this is A table, this is B table. Some two tables are there. In A table you have got a primary key. The same column if you use it in other table, B table, it will become what? Foreign key. Yes, but this is an example for simple primary key. Next I'll show you what is composite foreign key. So here only one column will be used. But in composite primary key, it's a combination of what? 2 or more columns. That's it. 2 columns put together will become what? Primary key. You can do this also. 2 columns put together will be made as primary key. Now this is A table. In B table what will happen? It will have its own primary key. It will have its own primary key. But foreign key will be what now? Both these columns you use it as foreign key. That's it. So this is an example for composite primary key. It's very rarely used. Just understand the concept. If you want little more better clear example, simple take it. So you know bank now? Banks have branches. So in one branch there will be many customers. Yes or no? One to many relationship. Let's see this now. So there will be something like branch underscore account. One table is there. Branch underscore account. One table is there. Next, one more table is there called as customer. Correct now? One branch has what? Many customers. So here what they will do? Branch underscore ID, account underscore ID. Now branch underscore ID would be what? An example if you want, take. Branch ID is something like 101. Account number will be, or I'll take branch ID is what? Something like 1 I'll take. And account ID will be 101. Both put together will become what? Both of them will make it as primary key. You can have more columns here, leave that. Now these two what you will do? You will make it as customer ID. Next will be what? Branch ID, account ID. Just an example I am giving you. So again, these two will become foreign key. But this is called as composite primary key, composite foreign key. Composite primary key, composite foreign key. Simple primary key, simple foreign key. Maximum you'll be working with simple only, don't bother much about it. Clear now? So customer ID will be what? Something like some other different ID you give. It might start with 1 only, no problem. Branch ID is what? 1. Account ID would be 102. Simple, I am giving an example. Understood? So that's about composite primary key. So do not worry much about it. It will not be used. Clear now? So this completes a primary key and foreign key introduction. We required 3-4 sessions which are done perfectly. Not a problem. And now since we completed primary key and foreign key only, you have started understanding what a database is. Otherwise you wouldn't have understood what is a database. So that's what I keep telling you. Primary key and foreign key form what? The heart of the database. If you understand this subject only, then only you will understand database. Yeah? So since we have got a very good grip of database now, okay, since we have got a very good grip of database, we'll try to do one project now. On what? Database. Only backend we'll do one project. It will become interesting also, and we'll exactly start understanding how all things are used in database. Everything will start understanding now. Like there might be many things: view, synonym. Okay, then you might have constraints like this, sequences, or many things will come now. Everything will start understanding accurately. Okay, how it will be used. So anything if you want to understand, always see from a project point of view. You'll start understanding it very neatly and cleanly. So clear? So shall we do a project in this one now? It will be interesting now. In Oracle we'll do one simple project. See the ability now. Within 7 days or 8 days of Oracle, you're already doing what? A project. Great it is. Yes or no? In your college, what happened? Just understand. So we are going to do a project now. You'll get the clear idea how tables will be created. So I'll do in the project what we are going to do. We'll create tables. We'll store records. Means we'll do all the CRUD operations. will do all the CRUD operations, inserting, reading, updating, deleting. So obviously project means what? It will not have one table now, multiple tables. You start understanding. Yeah? Should I clear all this now? Yes, we'll start off with the project now. As I told you, I will take the same screen. Which screen? Employee screen. So I'll create a new folder now and name it as what? Employee project. You can give any name, that's your wish. But I'll name it as employee project. In this project, I'll copy paste this HTML file. Understood? For which you are going to do the project. Paste it. See, if you want to see the source code of it, right click and open in Notepad or Edit plus anything. See, open with, I can say, Notepad also. This is the source code of that. Okay, HTML is a different language. I'll teach you HTML also, don't worry. Don't bother about source code. Okay, but if you want to see the source code, that's it. If you want to see, means execute it, just double click, nothing else. Double click. Understood? The screen you'll get. So this is what is HTML. So I told you, we'll be having the front end. Back end will be ready, front end will be ready. We application developers, what we do? We write the logic in between. So, but anyway, see, these are the details we would like to. 1 second. You just double click, it will open, man. That's it. Nothing else. Yeah. So this is the screen now. So for this screen, the DBA has to write the script. DBA means we'll act like DBA now. You'll only understand how tables will be created. So understand how tables are created, because you can write queries properly in your application. Because generally when you enter a company now, you are supposed to develop an application. So you will receive the value, but you will not know how to store data into the tables, and you struggle there. Many people neglect database, and that's why they struggle. Understood? So don't do it. Just practice. So this is the screen now. So DBA, let's see how you are going to. So you can write it on this. You draw it in your book now. So after you draw it, then next what will you do? We'll start understanding how the tables will be created. So we have to start understanding not only DBA, it is the role of application developer also to identify what now? What is one to many? Don't leave it or put the burden onto what? DBA. In fact, you should have the ability to give some ideas to the DBA. That level you should reach. Simply DBA will do, you'll sit and watch, nothing like that. So you should think about high level. Like an architect, you should start thinking when you're developing application. Don't think only about coding, because if you want to grow in life, think big. Okay, so when you see a screen, okay, you should start understanding now. You are an application developer, understood, fine, but you should start, even though the DBA is going to do his duty, we have to start understanding, okay, what is one here, what is many. So this is what is the extra edge, what you will be getting in cluster. We go into so much of depth. So it's a pure project what we are doing. It becomes interesting now. See this. Okay. So we are going to make it interesting. See this. One employee can have many phone. Okay. See this. Let's list. One department can have what? Just now we saw that one department can have many employees. Then next, one employee can have many phones. One employee can have many email. More things are there. One phone type can have many phone. This I'll make you understand today. We are going to news which you are not able to see, which I am able to see. Why? Because I am not you. Understood? So one phone type can have what? Many phone. One email type can have many email. So if you sit and count totally, one department table you need. See, these are the list of tables. Then you need one employee table. Then you need phone table. Then you need phone type table. Okay, I'll make you understand what is that. One more is email type. Then next one is, this is 4, this is 5. One more is phone. Then one more is, one second, phone type, phone, email type, email. So these are the 6 tables we are going to need now. When I draw it, you will only start understanding. Understood? This is the first project what you are doing. Don't worry, you do many projects like this here. Understood? Shall I clear everything? Shall I start drawing the tables? Clear? So who will be writing the script? You will be writing the script. So understand the tables properly now. Are you clear? 6 tables are required. Department, employee, phone, mail, phone type, email type. Yeah, first we'll draw, we'll raise it. So now these are different tables. Now in the department table, hardly what you'll have? Department ID and department name. That's it you're going to have. So first I will create the department table. In that I'll have see, when I am creating the tables here, look at the diagram which you have drawn. Understood? Which one? The same thing which I am showing you the screen. See that and then see the table. Then you'll understand properly. Okay. So the different values what we are going to have for this are, this is static data. One is transport. Next one is marketing. Third one would be development. Last one would be HR department. So one department will have what? Many employees. Let's see. See this. I am actually drawing tables for this. Understood? So fine. Now for employee, what are the different details you need now? First name, last name, date of birth is coming now. Date of birth. Okay. And he'll belong to a department. So for employee, you need employee ID now. First name, last name, one more extra column, date of birth. So what is 1 to 1, we are storing it in same table now. Understood? And he'll belong to one department. So department will become a foreign key to employee. Clear? Employee details. Clear this? I need space. Okay. So I'll just use some shortcuts here. I'll not use, I cannot write because I'll run short of space. I'll write EMP_ID, like that I'll write. Somewhere in the middle, okay. Employee_ID, first name. Okay, so I'll write F name, means first name. You write it fully, but first name, like that you write. Last name, date of birth, then what? Department_ID. So yes, this was the primary key, and here this will be the primary key, and this will become what? Foreign key. So this will be linked with this now. Yes or no? And you'll have a sequence. This is what now employee table. For every table you have a sequence. That I'll not write. It's understood now. So this is done. So let's complete our phone first. Okay. So now see, every employee will have a phone. Yes. So see this phone. So it would be like, look at the which one? Drawing first. So you need phone now. Phone underscore ID. 1 second, I need space. 1 second. I'll name it as ph underscore ID. I need, otherwise I'll not have space here. Phone underscore ID. But you type it full. Phone underscore ID. Then next one would be what? The foreign key. Employee ID I'll have. Fine. There's one more column which will come now. I'll show you what is that. Okay. It will be phone underscore type underscore ID. I'll tell you why it is coming. And one more will be phone underscore number. So in this table, this will be the primary key. This will be the foreign key. See, employee ID is getting used as a foreign key in which table? Phone table. Fine. So we are worried about this column. Now what is this extra column here? I'll come back to that. See this now. I'm explaining that only. Phone underscore type is one more new table what I'll be having today. Phone underscore type. And the primary key for this I'll be using is phone underscore type underscore ID. Phone underscore type underscore ID. And one more column I'll have phone underscore type. Don't get confused here. The table name and the column name are same. It can be possible. You can, the table name and column name can be same. Okay, that's just a name I used, name of the column. Look at the data here, 10, 20, 30. Right now there are three types of phone. One is what? Mobile phone, then is home phone, then is office phone. Yeah, see, till now you are storing phone numbers. 111, 1111, something like that. But which was which phone number? You didn't know only. We need clarity on that now. Yes or no? Whether 31 is a mobile number or 41 is a office number or whatever it is. So we need clarity on that. I'll fill the test data, I'll start understanding. So that's the reason we'll have one more table called as phone type. So here this will be the primary key. Okay. And this will be used as a foreign key here. So your phone table will have three constraints. One primary key, two foreign keys. Getting it clear now? So one type, phone type can have many phones. Means one mobile phone type, he can have many phone numbers, no, many mobiles. Okay, he can have many landline, he can have many office, like that. Okay, so that's the reason we'll go with this. Okay, so understand the phone and phone type, automatically you'll understand email and email type. Now you might be thinking, see one more thing, looking at the UI, you can also tell one more, you can argue now. One more thing you can argue. What you can argue? I very well know there are only 3 phone numbers. Yes or no? Definitely user is going to give what? Only 3 phone numbers. How will you give the 4th one? There is no option only, no. That is what you will argue now. But I will tell like this now. Client, who is that? Assume that this is Citibank. What you will tell tomorrow? No. Give one more provision. Add one more, let the user enter one more alternate mobile number. So a small change in the UI will make a big impact on what? Tables in the database. Understood? A small change in the UI will make a big impact on the tables in the, it should be decoupled. Understood? Totally you should decouple it. Understood? Any changes in the UI should not affect the tables only. He might ask you to add also, or he might ask you to remove a column, or he might ask you to remove what? Some option like this, field like this. That time what will you go and do? Drop the column, huh? They're all big headache. So you cannot, adding a column, even though adding a column and dropping a column can be done, but manipulating existing tables like that is very dangerous. I taught you how to alter the column, alter the table by adding a column, dropping the column, all that I taught. Think from application point of view. The application is up and running. Suddenly, requirements will come like this. Now you can't go on adding a column and dropping a column. Understood, no? So it should be decoupled in such a way. Are you clear? So they might ask you to add one extra field, or they might ask you to remove one field there. They might ask you to add or remove. Whatever they do, tables should not be affected. Understood? Because if you manipulate the tables, it's hardly 4 or 5 tables. Imagine in 500 tables, one column is added in some table. Now imagine how you write your queries in your application, man. Because the application developers will see the table only once. You go on manipulating the tables every day, application developers cannot write the code only. So you find it very difficult. Understood? So that is why decoupling at its best. Understand now what do you mean by adding a field and removing a field? You might add one more extra field now, add alternate mobile number, add alternate 3 more numbers you might ask. Alternate office number, alternate home number, alternate this one. Those 3 more numbers are coming now. Where will you store now? But in this kind of a thing you can do it now. I'll show you, I'll put the test data and show you. Automatically you can start storing. So one phone type can have what? Many phones. Similarly, but see, here, now there is no drop down. Carefully notice that also. This is also static data only. This is also static data. If you enter a value here, that will be stored in phone table. But this value will become what? 10. It's going to give 111. But here you will be storing it as what? 10. If he enters a phone number here, he will store it here as what? 20. If he enters a record here, what will be storing there as? 30. So he will not allow the user, see, this is how the static data will be populated. Static data sometimes will come from what? Drop down like that. Sometimes you will not drop, nothing you will do. Only you are asking the user to type, enter. If that value comes, you will dump it into database. So we are going to do the project. You don't have to worry. Once you do the CRUD operations, automatically you start understanding all this. Yeah? We are going to do the CRUD operations. So this is done. Next, one employee can have many email. That's the thing. So again you'll have what? Email type and email. So now, okay, one second, let me go there. One second. So now, department is a master table of what? Employee. Yes? So this is master, this is child. Now again, phone is a child table of what? 2 tables. One is phone type, other one is phone. Sorry, employee. It is a child table of, phone is a child table of 2 tables. Like this we start relating the tables. Understood now? So fine. Next. Same concept with what? Email. See, once you get a grip of one subject, other things will start becoming easy. That's it. So practice it. Slowly you start getting the idea. Email underscore ID, then employee underscore ID, email underscore type underscore ID, this project will take around 1 week to understand CRUD operations. Just write the script today. Email underscore type underscore ID. The next would be email. One second, I will need space. 1 second. Email underscore type underscore ID. Email. So it's almost all similar to what? Phone table. One more you'll have email type. Which are the 2 email you are collecting now? Personal and official. So this will also be static data. Email underscore type underscore ID. Email underscore type. 10, 20. Personal, official. See, data will hardly get manipulated here. Where? In phone type, email, data will be manipulated here only when the UI changes. Till then it will never manipulate. So that's why we make it as static tables. It will never manipulate. Who will enter the values here? Nobody. Only when you change your UI screen, that is when one more extra field will be added there. So learn like that. Okay, fine. So now see, for 6 tables, 3 are static, 3 are dynamic. 3 are static, 3 are dynamic. I'll fill the test data. Notice, you'll start understanding. So one employee is there, 101. He is having first name as AAA, last name is A, he might have his date of birth 12/1/2000, something like that. He belongs to the department of 10. Understood? He belongs to the department of 10 means he is working for which department? Transport department. He is having his phone. He is having his phone. See, date can be anything, don't bother about date. Any date of birth we can take. But see these values. Phone ID is 1, employee ID, it belongs to whom? 101. The phone is of type what? Mobile. Employee ID is 101. Phone type is mobile. And his phone number would be 111. Simple. He has two phones, fine. Add one more. 102. Sorry, 101. Phone type is 20. 1111. Till now we are not capturing this data. Which data? What type of a phone? Now we are looking into that. So one more phone he is having. Fine, no problem. 101, 30, 11111. Fine. One more phone comes up. You will add one field there. You will add one more option here. And you will insert one more phone number for him. What is the big thing? You can remove also, you can add one field also. But tables are not going to be manipulated now. Tables will not be manipulated. They will be totally decoupled. Understood? So this is how it goes. Same thing with what? Email now. So email ID would be 1, employee ID is 101, email underscore type underscore ID. What is that? I'll take first what? Personal 10, and his name would be a@gmail.com. That is personal now. One more email he has got, 101 20 a@cluster.com. That is official, his company name or something. Here also the story will continue. We got primary key. This one is primary key here. Now this becomes foreign key here. Yes. Same primary key is becoming foreign key here. Here also employee becomes what? Foreign key here. So email also will have what? Two foreign keys. One primary key, two foreign keys. That's it. You start filling data. Only you have to write front end for this now. So you want to write logic now. So understand tables first. It becomes mandatory now. Okay. So you practice it automatically. I'll give plenty of examples. Easily you start understanding. Understood? That's it. So this is how things have been designed now. Are you clear? So let us see now. Department is having only one primary key. Employee is having how many constraints? How many constraints? Two constraints. One is primary key, one is foreign key. Phone is having how many constraints? Three constraints. Primary key, two, foreign key. Phone type is having how many constraints? Only one, primary key. Email is having what? Three constraints. Three. One primary, two foreign. Understood? And lastly, email is having how many constraints? Only one, primary key constraint. That's it. My PK and FK are okay now? It's visible, huh? Means at least you should understand now. If I'm writing it, forget. Understood? So write the scripts. And you have to write what? Sequence for all these tables. And at the same time, insert static data. Static data you insert. I will show you how to insert this dynamic data. This dynamic data will insert through Apex. But you don't try to insert which one? Data now. It will not be possible for you. Again I have to show you in the later classes. I'll be showing you. Just create the tables. Keep it right. Understood? Keep the tables ready because I start doing CRUD operations on them now. Yeah? Okay. So then I'll just run the script. I have got the script ready now. I showed you how to write the scripts. I'll just run the script and show it for you. Okay. And I want it in this particular. It should be ready now. That's it. Clear? So any questions you're having here? Any questions? Don't worry. This is the first time you're seeing this. Your lifetime also you're not seen this. So don't worry. You'll not understand in one class. They have taken 70 years for this. What? Doing normalization. For doing normalization, this subject, they have taken 60-70 years of research. Now they have come to this level. But This is the best and easiest what we can understand today. If you had seen old things now, file management system, would have run away. Understood? RDBMS is there, that's why you are learning software today. This only you tell difficult, then go and work, save your data in what? Files. Do CRUD operations, you'll understand. So earlier development was so difficult. Today development has come down to earth, but only lack of knowledge you people don't have, and you think database is some subject. That is the reason you struggle to get jobs, and all queries are asked in interview for you. I'll be doing, so you do this. Next subject will be joins. I'll be working on these tables only. It's a big project what you're doing. 7 days we require to complete this project. Understood? Follow me properly, else no chance of getting job. Reason is when you go to an interview, you should know, you should be very strong in one programming language, you should be very strong in one database or SQL language. Mandatory. Nobody will select you if you're not aware of these two things. One is programming and one more is querying language. Otherwise, how will you write the logic? Programming logic is used for a different purpose. Querying language is used for a different purpose. Simple reason why you are not getting job. I'm clearly opening it and keeping it in front of you why you are not getting job. Nothing is in my hand. I can only train you. Everything is in your hands now. Anytime you go to an interview, everything they'll ask. Clear? Shall I clear this now? So scripts are there. I show you the scripts. You written it down now? Yeah. So now, see there are a few tricky places. Places where you'll get struck here. Okay. Where? One of the location would be where you would be struck here when you are creating the foreign key, because employee ID is used as a foreign key in two tables. Which two tables? Phone and email, two tables. If you give a name in one table, same name if you try to give for another table, what will happen? Constraint already exists, you'll get. Yes or no? So that is the only catch here, because employee ID has been used in what? Many concepts are there to learn, so learn it properly. So that is why, if you notice, see, while creating which one? Phone table, see my name what I have given, it is on employee ID table only, but name I have changed it to what? FK underscore, it is in phone table and is referring to employee. It's a name, you can give any name. This is the name I have given for phone, but the same I will be using for email what? FK underscore, email underscore, employee underscore ID. This is the catch. Okay, you'll go on executing a script, it will not run. Okay, this is one catch. Okay, understood now? Don't have two constraints with the same name. You still know what you are doing blindly. See, how do you add the primary key? Like this. And the same we are making it as foreign key by just changing it to FK. Earlier, how are you doing it? Employee ID, how are you making? FK underscore employee underscore ID. But now I am not doing like that, because same name will be used in both the tables. Understood? Fine. Anyway, see, in phone it is like that, and in email it would be like this. But both are pointing to employee ID column 1. Both are constraints from two tables, but referring to this particular table now. That is the link. That's how it goes. Are you clear? Fine. Now more things, interesting things. How do you drop? First child tables. No cascading effect for what? Tables. You have to drop the child first. Now which is the child? Phone is the first child. Then you can drop what? Phone type. Phone type is the master table of what? Phone. That's why phone first, then phone type, then email type. Now phone and email are child tables of what? Employee. So then employee, then department. You should know the order. Write it properly. Run the script. So I think that's maximum. And say for static data, I've written the insert queries here itself. For static data. And since I'm doing DML operations, for DDL no need of commit. Since I'm doing DML operations here, I have to commit finally. Then data will be inserted. Clear? So all this for reference, if you want, I'll keep this. This is I've got ready. I'll run it and show it for you. But this file also, what I'll do, I've got it ready. It is, but I'll just paste it there and run the script. I had already prepared this. Done. So it is your duty to write the script now. So how will you run now? Slash. You can copy it. Okay. So you can open your SQL prompt. Understood. At the rate of better, which are double quotes, better. There is no space. If there is space, it would have been mandatory. But still, make it a practice. Employee.sql. Run the script. First time some errors might come because some problems might be there. Okay, sequence or something like that. Some sequences are not there. Some sequences, no, new sequences are not there. So that's why create it now. Everything will execute accurately. Done. So once it is done, now you can go and check in Apex. Refresh. Now see, these many tables are there. Understood. So in department, data you want, go and see. These are the 4 departments. Okay. Email type, 2 records. Phone type, 3 records. But in employee, no records. Okay. If you want to check how many sequences are there, click on sequences. These many sequences. Some old sequences are there. Department underscore seek. But this time I created a sequence with name department underscore seek. Anyway, just I'll drop it otherwise if it's confusing. Drop. F1, yeah, that's it. So gone. So sequences. How many sequences? 6 tables. 6 sequences. Then next, constraints if you want to see. You can see here all the constraints. For email, for phone you can notice there are 3 constraints. 1 primary key, 2 foreign key. Very neatly I have written comments. So this will be put on to what now? We'll be giving you the soft copy. Use it for reference. I know very well you can run the script. Okay, if you want to run the script here, you'll never get job. It's better you practice it. So output you'll get because we are giving you all the source code. Only for what? Reference. Not for executing. Executing you are excellent. From 22 years, past 22 years, you are executing everything. Okay, at least try to do something from scratch now. Yeah? So, any questions now? So, you have started the employee project. Don't do CRUD operations, I'll teach you. And one more last thing here, what you have to understand is, yes, this is very important which I didn't cover, I'll tell you. Look, for the employee table, the date of birth, the data type what I am using is date. Notice that. It's a new data type what I will be introducing. Tomorrow I will introduce this. That's why I am telling you don't insert. You will not be able to insert. It's a different data type. So we'll practice how to insert that. So date is a very important data type. It's a data type. Column name is what? Date of birth. Data type is what? Date. So that's why I am telling you don't do any insert operation. You will not be able to do it. Understood? Like for number we don't give in double quotes. For varchar we give in double quotes. There's a mechanism to insert date value. So that's why I'm telling you don't try to insert. Just this much you keep it ready. Yeah? Project has started. Okay, so these queries we'll practice it here. And when we develop your project with UI, same queries you'll write in application. What is the big thing now? That's all. This is all you have to do in company. For doing this in company they struggle so much. That's it. Understood? Okay, fine. You can do it today. That's it.